Hi everyone, my name is AK Mishra, an experienced personnel from Facility Organization. I'm here to talk you this time about sewerage treatment plant, which is represented in easy to follow step by step procedure to make sure the subject more realistic, understandable and approachable. So hello friends, let us come to the point. Before going in depth about sewerage treatment plant, I would like to tell you clearly about scope as well as purpose of these classes. Our main purpose is to establish the standard operating procedure for the STP plant operation and periodic preventive maintenance, so that a smooth and effective operation of the equipment could be established. So, the main theme of this very session is as below: operating instruction, chemical doses and monitoring data, maintenance, and safety policies. Important role of collection tanks. The waste, that is raw sewage, come into the collection tank and is lifted by raw sewage lifting pump for feeding of sewage into oil and grease trap. Before run the sewage lift pump for feeding of sewage into oil and grease trap, don't run the pump in dry condition. Make sure the proper rotation. Don't lift the pump from tank using electrical cable. Regular cleaning of pump is required. Don't run pump when discharge as well as suction valves are closed. Sewerage water from the building starts to enter into the oil and grease trap. The effluent flow by gravity into the basket screen chamber, where SS type basket screen is provided. The screen provided with arrest suspended matter such as rag, paper, vegetable waste, leaves, common wastes, etc., and have to be cleaned by hand, take manually. These screenings should be collected and disposed of at regular intervals by landfill / burying. Oil and grease trap is well equipped with oil removal system, that is oil skimmer bell type, where free floating oil is removed from the raw water. For operation and maintenance considerations, first, check and clean the bar screen at frequent intervals. Second, do not allow solids to overflow or escape from the screen. Ensure no large gaps are formed due to corrosion of the screen. Replace corroded or unserviceable bar screen immediately. And last, oil and grease remove with the help of skimmer and dispose regularly as per standard method of disposal. Here, construction and engineering consideration. First, epoxy coated mild steel or stainless steel are normally used. The screen frame is fixed in the bar screen chamber at an angle of 60 degrees to the horizontal, leaning away from the incoming side. The tank should have waterproof plastering inside and out. The length of the trap should be approximately 2 times its depth. Surface area of the trap in square meter should be approximately 1.5 to 2 times the depth of the trap in meter. The screened effluent from the basket screen enters into equalization tank for collection of sewage from building section. The tank acts as a holding tank for the raw effluent in order to homogenize the quality of wastewater as well as to feed wastewater at a uniform rate to the rest of the treatment plant and to prevent odor mixing by means of diffused aeration comprising coarse bubble diffusers, and air blowers are provided. Keep the blower in operation so long as the inflow is present. In any case, blowers should not be rested for more than 1 hour to prevent odor problems. Operation and maintenance considerations for the equalization tank. Always keep air mixing on at all times. Ensure that the airflow mixing is uniform over the entire floor of the tank. Adjust the replacement of diffusers and the airflow rate as needed. Then keep the equalization tank nearly empty before the expected peak load hours. Otherwise, it will overflow. Check and clean clogged diffusers at regular interval. Manually evacuate settled muck sediment at least once in a year. Here, construction and engineering consideration is as below. When you are going to calculate the volume of equalization tank, then you must know inflow amount and outflow amount, and the difference is the equalization tank capacity. Air volume 1.2 to 1.5 times the volume of the equalization tank, or 2.5 to 3 cubic meter per square of the floor area. There is another next tank is anoxic tank. This is for bio-oxidation. Here, equalized wastewater from equalization tank is pumped to anoxic tank, where a static curved screen, that is fine type, to arrest the floatable before anoxic tank, is provided at the inlet from removal of fine particles more than 6 mm. From anoxic tanks enters into aeration tank for bio-oxidation. Aeration tank is main reaction tank for the biological process. As the wastewater from anoxic tank flows into the aeration tank where biological treatment, that is oxidation of impurities, takes place in the presence of bacteria. Oxygen for bacteria is supplied by the air blower. Fine pore diffusers, they remain in tubular membrane diffusers, have been provided for aeration of operate them continuously round the clock so long as there is normal wastewater flow into the tank. And maintenance consideration. Operation includes maintaining biomass concentration, that is MLSS, full form as mixed liquor suspended solid. The STP is operated within a 3500 milligram per liter or 350 ml and 4500 milligram per liter or 450 ml. When the MLSS exceeds 450 ml, the excess sludge is taken out of the system to bring the MLSS down to the say 350 ml, and the process continue until the sludge again build up to 450. Here I have briefed that how to calculate MLSS, that is volumetric measurement using a 1 liter measuring cylinder or jar. Take 1 liter of aeration tank sample, the mixed liter, and allow to settle in the jar for 30 minutes. At the end of 30 minutes, measure the volume occupied by the settled sludge. If it is 350 ml, we take the MLSS to be 3500 milligram per liter. If it is 400 ml, then takes MLSS to be 4000 milligram per liter. Aside construction and engineering consideration, treatment effluent 90 to 98% as defined by the Pollution Control Board. Food microorganism ratio F/M always remains 0.10 and 0.12. Air 50-60 cubic meter per hour per kg by oxygen demand. Aeration tank capacity you can design, that is you have to multiply plant capacity with bioxygen demand divided by the ratio of food microorganism into MLSS. Similarly, volume of aeration tank, you need to divide biomass with the designed MLSS. Illustrates the quality of water obtainable from a well-designed, engineered and operated STP at very affordable treatment cost. BOD level in raw sewage should be 200 to 250 milligram per liter, and after treatment it should be less than 30 milligram per liter. What does it mean to us? It means biodegradable oxygen demand for survival of bacteria. Similarly, pH value in raw sewage must be in between 6.5 to 7.5. After treatment, 6.5 to 7.5. It means the acidity alkalinity balance is not affected / altered if you maintain this parameter. In fact, water quality pH value or the sewage must be from 6.5 to 7.5. Bioxygen demand less than 30 milligram per liter. COD level less than 130 milligram per liter. COD means chemical oxygen demand. TSS should be less than 30 milligram per liter. Oil and grease level should be less than 5 milligram per liter. Sludge color should be in light black. It's a healthy color. MBR, that is membrane bioreactor. It is for separating solid from the liquid through the physical process driven by gravity. The biologically treated effluent overflow from aeration tank is led by membrane feed pump into the MBR tank, where effluent passes through membrane for removal of suspended impurity. Sludge is settled down at the bottom of the tank and further is recycled back to the anoxic tank to maintain the desired MLSS. Abbreviates as mixed liquid suspended solid value. And excess sludge is taken for drying and disposal through the sludge holding to centrifuge where poly is dosed to centrifuge for proper dewatering of sludge. Chemical cleaning system is available for cleaning of membrane in MBR tank. Another tank named as treated water tank for collecting treated water. Treated water is pumped through membrane suction pump and further de-infected through UV to kill the bacteria. Get collected in treated water tank. The treated water is disposed with the help of hydropneumatic system capacity 12 cubic meter per hour for irrigation from this tank. Then sludge holding tank is for collection of sludge from membrane reactor. Excess sludge from the MBR tank is collected in sludge holding tank with the help of sludge transfer pump. It also used for recirculation of sludge from MBR to anoxic, which is provided with coarse buffalo diffuser to thicken the sludge, and the same is pumped to centrifuge for sludge drying. Sludge holding mechanism, that is centrifuge. Actually, thickened sludge from aerobic digester is pumped to centrifuge to dewater the sludge and to form a cake. The cake will be removed manually and will be disposed as a manner or carried out. Filtrate will be diverted to aeration tank. The sludge, in fact, comes from the sludge MBR, is further taken by gravity into a sludge pump, from where the pump returned the sludge to anoxic tank. Suction pipes, a delivery pipes is also remains there, which takes sludge from this header to anoxic tank. There is the bypass line which returns from the sludge back to the sludge holding tank. In terms of operation and maintenance consideration, always switch between the main and standby pump every 4 hours approximately. Check oil in the pump every day, top up if necessary. Check motor to pump alignment. Check conditions of coupling and replace damaged part immediately. Check for vibration and tighten the anchor bolts and other fasteners. Check condition of bearing, oil seal, mechanical seal, and replace if necessary. Construction and engineering consideration, the correct choice would be horizontal, centrifugal, non-clogged solid handling pump with open impeller. The non-clogged solid handling pumps are rated to handle solid up to even 20 mm size with an open impeller design. Repair servicing cost for non-clogged solid handling pumps are negligible compared to submersible pump. The non-clogged solid handling pumps are less expensive than submersible pump but work at a lower efficiency due to open impeller design. How there is incoming sewage entering into anoxic tank, then with the help of gravity enters into aeration tanks, then finally it goes into sludge settles tank, that is where MBR tanks, and the residue again return back to the anoxic tank where settled sludge is collected and received. In this circulation, few pumps are used. In brief, I would like to tell you. Raw water transfer pump. Sewage is transferred into equalization tank by this pump. Sludge transfer pump. Sludge is transferred by this pump from membrane bioreactor tank to anoxic tank for recirculation of sludge. Excess sludge is transferred into sludge holding tank. Drainage sump pump. The water coming from the plant is transferred into collection tank. Roots air blower, usually known as aeration tank. Suck the air from ambient and discharge into aeration tank for surviving the bioculture for biodegradation of organic load. In equalization tank and sludge holding tank for proper mixing. Roots air blower inside the MBR tank suck the air from atmosphere and discharge into MBR tank to survive the bioculture for biodegradation of organic food. In this concern, I would like to tell you few guidelines for operator. Start raw water lifting pump first. Start MBR feed pump. Start run continuously for 24 hours. Maintain MLSS in between 10K to 20K milligram per liter. Considering the load, maximum DO should be in between 1.5 to 2 milligram per liter. Considering the health of sludge at aeration tank. Recirculate the sludge from MBR tank to anoxic tank is a continuous process. UV system, that is ultraviolet system, will run during operation of membrane suction pump only, not in dry condition. Start treated water pump to dispose for irrigation. Drain out the excess sludge into sludge holding tank and dewater it through centrifuge. Operation of centrifuge is actually switch on the centrifuge and wait till the centrifuge get fill RPM. When the bulb of fresh water line for 10 minutes, start the feeding slurry by switch on the centrifuge feed pump and then immediately start the dosing of polyelectrolyte. During close of operation of centrifuge, do the following step. First, stop the feeding of slurry, so switch off the centrifuge feed pump, then start feeding of fresh water. After few minutes, stop the closing of polyelectrolyte. Feed fresh water and get the clear centrate. So, every operator must be aware about duty and responsibility. Chemical solution preparation. Operating plant in proper flow. Chemical dosing for centrifuge operation. Nutrient dosing at aeration tank if required. Excess sludge wasting from MBR tank. Centrifuge operation and dispose of sludge. General maintenance of equipment. Proper disposal of treated water. Maintain of logbook report to your seniors in time and in proper way. Maintain good housekeeping at sites. You must be alert about air blower. Make sure proper oil level are maintained in the gear end and grease oil in the bearing end. Check oil level and grease every 40 hours of operation. Loss of oil or grease should be replenished. Check belt tension every fortnight. Too tight belts would cause premature bearing failure, while too loose belt would overheat of belts and pulley. Check and clean air silencers every month. Clean the filter of air blower every fortnight by reverse airflow. थैंक यू फ्रेंड। अगर ये सेशन आपको अच्छा लगा तो बेल आइकन को प्रेस करें और इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करते हुए टेक्नो एडु एकेडमी को प्रोत्साहित करें। जय हिंद, जय भारत।